leaching of that material.
True.
So this one is free of that, which is very important for our health at the same time. So nice little green gadget.
So our Earth Day every year is on the 22nd of April, right? Any events that's gearing up, towards that? I understand that there's something happening in University of Malaya.
Oh yeah, there's loads of stuff happening actually. On Sunday morning, which is the Earth Day morning itself, I'll first go to Earth Day celebration with waterfall survivors. That's happening in Templars Park. It kicks off at 8 a.m. I'll give a talk there to kick off the day, and this is gonna be happening to clean up the whole area. Waterfall survivors actually started going all over Malaysia into waterfalls, raise awareness that these waterfalls are amazing, they need to be preserved, and then get volunteers in to clean them up. So that's the first event I'm attending. Then after that I'm going to a film screening. It's called One Day on Earth, and that is quite an amazing project. It was 1.5 years ago on the 10th 2010. There were green actions all over the world. It was organized by an organization mainly called 350.org. This is an organization that is actually focusing on trying to get the CO2 emissions back to 350 parts per million. It started off a couple of hundred years ago, before the human intervention in terms of industrialization. We had 280 parts per million. This was the carbon dioxide emission concentration. Now it's gone up to 380, 390. It's getting close to 400, but we need to get it back to 350 to enable the human life on this planet without too much rise of sea levels. We have already a rise of sea levels. The more CO2 emissions we have got, concentration in the atmosphere, the warmer it will get, the more the temperature consistency will be changed. And I see it in my little kampong in Germany. When I had 3 months of snow when I was a kid, now my brother's children, they don't know anymore whether they'll get snow or not. Same here in Malaysia. People tell me they used to do planting in the rubber industry according to the seasons. These seasons are gone. So this film, One Day on Earth, is going to bring together all of the global action that was done on the 10th of 10th, 2010 and portray it in a film to give us all hope that the whole world is actually working together on putting green things into practice, making it happen on an everyday level. And the message to everyone is your contribution actually counts. If you are out there doing green stuff, starting in the morning, reducing your waste, and getting rid of wasting paper, for example. Another action item from the hotel that I went to, the Rebak Resort, the MD there told me, oh, I just got rid of all of the paper towels in the food area because I think we're wasting too much paper. That was quite a strong step because, a 4- or 5-star hotel like that, you would expect, some customers might be complaining. But actually educating us to not waste the natural resources. And if we put that into practice, that is the spirit of Earth Hour, that is the spirit of Earth Day. But we need to make it a continuous daily activity. Then we are all going to make a difference if we reduce our electricity bill, our water bill, if we all believe back into it. And I think that's one thing that I've seen in Malaysia. A lot of Malaysians think, okay, I come to an event, I plant a tree, but then when I go back home, what difference does it really make? It makes a huge difference if you go green, practice it on a daily level, because when we all work together, then we are going to make a big difference. And this is the spirit of this film that will be screened, I think it's at 11:30 at the Experimental Theatre at the University of Malaya, and it's hosted by Eco Nights. Yasmin Ras, good friend of mine, she's done loads of green stuff, so this should be fun.
Matthias, I have to ask you, if we go to any shopping malls, especially what we come across in Bangsa, the restrooms, the toilets, right? They don't give out toilet papers anymore, paper towels and all that, right? So once you wash your hands, you have to go through the dryer, right? So is it contradicting? You're trying to reduce the usage of paper, but at the same time you're using a lot more energy from the electricity to dry your hands. What's your opinion on that?
That one depends on the actual electricity consumption of the dryer. The tool we use in scientific terms to evaluate what is better for the planet or not is called life cycle analysis. And this life cycle analysis tool is all about what is the total environmental impact of one activity compared to the other activity. So here you would be comparing the fact that, you know, some trees have been chopped down somewhere to turn them into paper that you use for drying. What is the environmental impact of that in terms of water, in terms of fuel, in terms of electricity?
Right.
The total, we call it carbon footprint, environmental impact, versus the fact that you are using a dryer here.
Yeah.
But I tell you what I normally do. Guess what?
What?
I shake my hands
And then?
and walk on.
Ah.
So I don't use paper towel or the electricity. So that is zero environmental impact.
Right.
Just if I know that I get out of the restroom and I have to shake someone's hand, you know, I don't want my hands to be wet.
That's right.
Then I might use something. But in the normal run of business, I just shake my hands and, you know, maybe even do this here to dry them.
Yeah.
So zero environmental impact. That is
Yes.
the most eco-friendly option.
Yes.
I think in this case, the idea to get rid of paper is very good.
Yes.
But it will only work environmentally if your hairdryer is very energy efficient.
Yeah.
That one you can test when you, I think 2 weeks ago, I had this tool here with me where you can measure the watt consumption of your electrical equipment at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I found out my TV with Astro on or
The decoder, right?
yeah, RTM2 and everything,
Yeah.
but the decoder makes it extra energy consuming.
Yeah.
If I watch only the normal television, it's less wattage.
Ah.
Then I put on as well the normal fan. The normal fan was 16 watt.
Okay.
Very low energy consumption.
Yes.
1 horsepower aircon, 750 watt.
Ooh.
That shows you the difference in terms of environmental impact.
Yes.
So that's a way of comparing.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah.
Any other green tips that you can share to the viewers out there, aside from try to use, the less of the air conditioning, more of the fans, but at the same time you have to go into looking into all the different weightage. What else can we do?
Yeah. I think one of the things that we often don't think about in environmental terms is our water consumption. Especially in parts of Malaysia, the water is free of charge,
Yeah.
or it costs very little.
They keep washing their cars. I don't know why. Almost every day, you know, especially when their cars are all white. They go, oh, it's time for us to wash your car. Oh, you just washed it yesterday. It's like, oh, it's dirty.
Yes, and then, you know, the whole street is full of water.
And
I-
soap,
And soap,
detergent,
yeah.
yeah.
In my condo, I saw yesterday they were using this high pressure water,
Hosing it down,
you know, and they were hosing actually the whole floor area down. I think sometimes, especially, you know, if we have green stuff lying on the floor, okay, we have to pay attention that it's not too slippery.
Yes.
But this is Mother Nature. This is great, you know, and nature goes back to nature again if we let it lie there. I think sometimes when it comes to walkways and leaves, we don't need to clean that much, actually, because the stuff is there. But I don't think you were here in the show like a couple of weeks ago when we had the waterless car wash. I mean, that was a great example. You don't actually necessarily need to use water to wash your car. Or you can wash your car with very little water.
Okay.
You know, so that makes a difference. But my tip for at home, when you get up, you know, your shower.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
just make yourself wet, then switch off the water.
Yep.
Soap yourself a little bit, whatever you need. Since I went Botak, by the way, I need less water, less soap.
And shampoo.
So another good tip for you, Samil. How about that? Maybe
now I
you
know
could try it out.
Talence's secret. Okay.
Actually, that's another event that's coming up on the 26th.
Yeah.
I think I have it in my slides as well.
To be bald?
No,
I thought you're scared not to be bald. Okay.
that was actually an interesting story. I only went Botak because my friend Poesil Young, who started this movement called Helping Angels,
Okay.
she said to me, hey Matthias, do you want to support my bald empathy movement? She shaved all her hair at the Cannes Film Festival.
It's a she.
To raise awareness, and she had even longer than you, Azaria. And she did it to raise awareness for cancer patients and to turn her hair into a wig for a cancer patient.
Oh.
And she asked me, hey Matthias, can you support my event? The green component of it, less water and less shampoo. And that was the first time I actually got motivated to think about it, because before I always thought, oh, I've got a couple of scars on my head, you know, maybe going Botak will not look so nice, maybe I'll have loads of pimples on my head, you know. So, and then I did it, and hey, you know, even my mom, who was crying when she heard it on the phone, she said, hey, you look younger. So since then I stick with this.
And you do look good.
Oh, thanks, thanks.
I think you're one of the few people who can carry it off. You and Terence, of course. I don't think I'll be able to carry it out, but yeah, the time will come.
Yes, yes, we'll try and rope you in. So we have this event, we call it Green Humanity on the 26th. I think we have the Facebook page there as well, like /Green Humanity. And the whole idea is random acts of kindness for Mother Earth. I think that's a beautiful concept. If you get up in the morning and you don't let the water run too much when you take your shower, that's a random act of kindness for Mother Earth, and it counts. And if more people do it and we scale it up, then Mother Earth will benefit and our future generations, the humans, will benefit from it. Because I always try and remind people, if we really squeeze the planet to the limit, the endangered species will be the human species at the end of the day. Because if sea levels rise, a lot of people will be at threat. There's already an island in the Pacific. I think they're trying to buy a part of Mauritius now because the island is becoming uninhabitable due to sea level rise. This is already real stuff. If we have 4-meter sea level rise in Malaysia, Malacca and Penang will be underwater.
Very alarming, right? What can we do on in our home, the levels of our home? Let's just say if you're living in a condo or something with like a landed property, should you plant more trees to make it cooler? At the same time, you know, if you go to most of the Malaysian homes, they try to have a water feature. Right? You know, having fish ponds, koi ponds and all that. Or even just normal fountains cascading around the house. What would be your opinion on this? You know, especially when Malaysian homes, they like to have all these water features.
And also the rubbish chutes. There aren't any recycling centers in condos and apartments and flats.
I think water is beautiful when it's natural. You know, when you go to the Malaysian rainforest, those places that are still intact, you know, some of them have gone already because of deforestation or other intervention. So I think, first of all, we need to do a lot to preserve that. Because when you're staying there, I stayed at a resort called Tanah Aina some time ago, and it was amazing. You just live next to the river, pure river, you can bathe in the water, it's totally clean. So water features, I think, are trying to bring this healing power of the water, or this romantic notion to us. And I think if we have too much features with too much electricity pumps, like one day I went to a home that was supposedly green, but it had so many water pumps all over the place, the electricity consumption must have been very high. I think having some flowing water is beautiful. And it calms your senses, and this condo where I stay in, Sofia condo, has the same. It's got a lot of greenery, it's nice. But when it comes to practical things, we need to look at how much water are we consuming there and how much electricity are we consuming. As long as we do that with the notion of we want to avoid wastage, I think then it can be a very beautiful aspect of landscaping and giving us a bit of connection back to the natural elements. When it comes to recycling, I think it was 2009, I set up with my friend Gregors Ryman. He's a greenie. He is one of the few people I know that bicycles to work, and he's got this mobile shower that he takes with him. He just plugs the hose into the restroom hose and then showers on the spot. So
free shower.
And we set up a recycling system in our condo. Maybe I can talk about that in some of the future sessions and go a bit more in detail. Basically, we realized the cleaners are making makan money from small-scale recycling. That's the key to make it work. So we set up a system that on every floor we had a separation system. So the cleaners afterwards, now they're collecting about 3 times as much recyclable items. So everybody wins. They make more makan money. More things are being recycled. We even have the statistics. And we made a survey with all the residents in our condo. Everybody was happy. The Malaysians, the foreigners, we even had people come to the condo who said, wow, this condo is green. We love that. A French guy. And he then said, hey, I want to live in this condo instead of this other condo because this other condo is not so green. So that is, you know, something that you can implement in any condo. We put it all on the Facebook, on the website. We did some videos, and that one I'll talk some other time a bit more in detail, because we've got, this is the Helping Angels, the Green Humanity.
Right, so it's happening on the April 26th?
Yeah, people can just connect on the Facebook page. I think we have very restricted seats, but go just on the Facebook page and then connect with us.
Okay.
The other thing that's coming up that I wanted to mention to our viewers is something linked to green business. We had Green Tech Corporation here on the show some weeks ago, and we are working with them to create an event that's called Rock Your Green Business. A lot of businesses that are green or want to go green, they don't know necessarily how to do it and how to pitch their products out there. I see at the moment that products like this, the green products, in some cases are slightly more expensive. You save money in the long term. They're struggling to compete with the normal products because people initially think about, you know, buy the normal stuff, the cheaper stuff. But the actual green business challenge is to get more customers out there that are buying green and healthy, so we can change the economy from within. So this Rock Your Business event is really trying to help people to pitch their business and to learn from mentors how to make their pitch more successful, more commercially viable, so they can grow their business to the next level. Because I want to see those green businesses, as well, those green businesses that we have brought into the show, to be more successful than the normal businesses. Because then every business wants to go green. So the more stronger the green businesses get out there, the better that will be for the economy to shift the economy towards green. That's as well a random act of kindness for Mother Earth. If you actually buy green products instead of the products that are part of the problem, then you become part of the solution, and then we can shift the economy through our purchasing power as consumers. So that in itself is one of the biggest tips, I think.
You've been bringing in a lot of guests almost every week, you know, talking about green businesses. Do you see that this interest in green businesses, is it increasing, as well as, you know, do you see businesses trying to go green nowadays?
Yeah, I think the government is doing a lot to support that. The Green Tech Corporation, KETA, the ministry, they're pushing a lot green technology as the future growth market. And I call it a sunrise industry instead of a sunset industry. So we will see a lot of growth in that area, but it's still not easy to make it commercially work. Because in theory, we are all supposed to be green, right? But then when it comes to us buying our products, last week we had our friends who do the eco-friendly innerwear from Nucleus. You know, still when people buy products, they might go to the brands that they know already, you know, the famous international brands, rather than going for a local Malaysian eco-friendly brand. But I see a shift happening. And that's as well one of the purpose of what we're doing here. We need to make noise about those products that are there, those brands that are there. I'm getting less and less worried about really pushing these companies, because I realize somebody needs to push them, otherwise people don't know that they exist. I saw statistics why Malaysians don't buy green. Number one, they think it's expensive. Number two, they don't know it exists. So we need to bring the price down, and we need to make a lot of noise about it's there.
So more awareness.
I see more and more green companies are popping up. Some of them don't succeed, but others are starting to get traction. They get their following. You need to have a committed number of customers that actually support you out there. So that is very, very important. And that could be the green community. But if you just think loads of people will buy your product because it's green only, that might be a mistake. You have to get your brand right, you have to get your product right, your marketing needs to be good. You need to run your business as if it was any other business. We're talking about green procurement. It will come. The government is talking about it, but it's not yet here on a large scale. So, you know, we can't rely on that here and now. You need to generate sales if you run a business, otherwise you're gonna be out of business. So any green business needs to have the same commercial viability like any other business. But in the long run, I think the green businesses will outperform and outsurvive the normal businesses. Because, you know, when there is a banning of plastic bags and other things coming in, then your normal business of making plastic bags ain't gonna be that viable anymore. And you're going to have very low margins anyway. So some businesses will disappear and others will emerge. And that is the evolution of the economy that we need to see to shift it to a greener economy for the sake of the survival of our human species.
Yeah. Okay, really quickly before we let you go, you mentioned that you stayed at a hotel that actually applies this green ways of living using their own flowers that they grew. Yes. I'm not trying to promote any hotel, but there's the hotel in Pahang called the Dusun.
Oh,
it doesn't use any electricity. There's no air conditioning. It has like curtains. And through the windows, the dusun means
the breeze. Yeah. Oh, the dusun. Okay.
Yeah,
the orchard.
Yeah, orchard. So there are like rambutan trees and langsats and whatnot. They reach into your window, so you can actually pluck them and eat them in your room without having to pay for them because they grow naturally. So that I think is one of the places that I know. Do you have any other places? Because you've stayed all around the world.
Yeah, the one that I mentioned early on, the Tanah Aina Resort, that's in Pahang as well, close to Raup. You can't even get there with a car. You actually have to get there with a four-wheel drive, so you're secluded in Mother Nature. That's a beautiful place. Then I know that some international hotel chains are trying to go green. Shangri-La, for example, they banned the shark's fin all over the world. That's quite a very strong commitment. I think that needs to be applauded. I know the Crown Plaza here in KL, they're offering a green conference package. You can actually have your green event there and have food that is low carbon footprint, more vegetarian food. They have their own organic garden upstairs where they're harvesting organic herbs and vegetables. So there's a lot happening in that space. And when I saw this, the Rebak Resort on Langkawi, Rebak Island, they even have a mangrove area that they are preserving out there to give the customers who are coming there the idea to go back to nature and to actually see a little bit of nature as well. So those are the ones that pop to mind. I think there are, the good news is a lot of international hotel chains are realizing that there's a green customer coming, that they have a carbon footprint to look after, and that they have to actually take good care, even when guests stay in the hotel, to measure the total amount of CO2 that one guest stay, the amount of water is consuming. So a lot of them are working on those strategies to reduce that.
Yeah, so all the guests have to do is just make more noise, and maybe all this hotel industry will do something about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Matthias, thank you for highlighting this event.
Yeah, go green.
Yeah, please bring me
Hijau all the way.
Please bring us one each after this.
Sure.
And of course, we need your signature. All right. Okay. So just look for Matthias Gelber on Facebook, or of course you can be part of the Green Humanity. So facebook.com/Green Humanity. And right now we're going to take a really short break before we have a very special performance. So we'll be right back. Don't go away.